YouTube channel. Today we have a very special guest, my roommate.
Hello.
This is Michaela. If you missed my dorm tour video, so I did film a dorm tour, posted. It's my last video posted, so go check that out. Michaela's not in it, but I talk about her during half of it because half the room is hers. So we decided, hey, along with showing what the room looks like, what have we done to make not only the room but just the college transition easier? So move-in prep, just like what life is like here. And we were getting going, we're like, there's a lot to be said. So it's actually gonna be a 4-part video series of dorm tips and tricks and just like college stuff. So this first part is just roommate life.
I would say we got really blessed with each other as roommates, but that wasn't just by chance. So I think both of us really went into it really prayerfully. I was really worried and anxious about it coming in, and at one point I had just tried connecting with people. I had not really found anybody that I thought would connect well. I didn't feel at peace about it, and so one night I just prayed. I was like, Lord, I'm done trying to find my own roommate. Like, please bring me somebody that will be the person you have for me as my roommate. And the next morning, Sarah messaged me, like, out of the blue. And so just pray so much about it. Seek the Lord. Find peace with who you're rooming with, because it really is a big deal. And like, Sarah is now one of my best friends, and I love her so much, and we got really, really blessed with that.
Yeah, because I was gonna actually room with someone else in a completely different building, and because we live in South Tower, and so it's just like, I was like, there's no one here. I couldn't find any other freshmen, like, on, like, because, like, many colleges will have, like, little, like, bio pages for incoming freshmen. So I was just scrolling and scrolling because I was so stressed. I was praying, like, God, who am I gonna live with? Because I had such a set plan already. And he was just like, and I just scrolled. Michaela was the first girl that popped up for South Tower. I was like, look at that. And I messaged her, and we just, like, totally hit it off. And it was amazing.
Yeah. And on that, I would say it's totally okay to talk to multiple people. Like, I probably talked to at least 5 people before talking to Sarah. And, like, nobody felt, like, I just didn't feel like I clicked with anybody. And that's totally fine. You don't have to room with the first person you talk to. It's okay to, like, talk to different people and then decide on who you're gonna room with. Keep your options open and just leave it up to God, and he will show you who you're supposed to be with, for sure.
Yeah, and, like, even off of your bio page, I was reading, I was like, okay, it seems like it could be, like, an okay thing. And we just, like, completely hit it off because we really just trusted the Lord's plan with that.
Yeah. And definitely, like, connect over Instagram, FaceTime. Like, we FaceTime for, like, 2 months before we decided that we were going to room together. So
it wasn't, like, a quick decision because it's someone that you're going to be living with.
And I think because of that, like, we have a better roommate relationship than other people that I know that maybe didn't do that whole process.
Yeah.
And, like, when we moved in, like, it wasn't awkward or anything because we've been talking for months.
Like, everyone was like, oh, so you guys know each other from back home? And I'm like, no, I'm from New Hampshire. And she's like, I'm from North Carolina. So it was just like, it was really just, we trusted the Lord. So that's how it worked out. Also, an important thing to go over when you're finding someone that's going to be your roommate is making sure you guys have, like, similar, like, sleep schedules type things. And, like, going to bed early and, like, late and, like, waking up and stuff. Because that's, like, a major piece to it. Because if you're rooming with someone and they're, like, going to bed at, like, 9:30 when you're, like, staying up till 2, and then you're just, like, awkward, scared, paranoid, being quiet, trying not to wake them up. Because if your roommate, like, trying to wake up your roommate, unless it's a pre-established thing, we'll get to that later, it's, like, don't be trashy like that.
I think, like, we have really similar sleep schedules. And we're both really heavy sleepers. So, like, it's fine either way. But, like, we're both up till past midnight every single night, which helps.
But like we said, building up roommate relationships is super important because we've reached the point where it's like, now it's like, she'll be asleep and I'll be like, Michaela, you have to wake up. We established this. That's why it's good to be, like, friends with your roomie. Because I know some people prefer to just, like, have someone to live with. And I actually thought I was going to want that coming in. But then we ended up hitting it off so well.
You were like, I don't think I would have been. I'm just kidding.
Well, it worked out that we're friends and we stay up till, like, we're literally like lights off, turned away, trying to sleep, and we'll still be talking. It's like really, it's also because like she has a twin sister and I have two older sisters, so we're like used to the talking. Yeah. So that's definitely a piece of it.
All right. So the next tip is try connecting with somebody that you have a similar major to. So I was mainly messaging people, like when I was looking for a roommate, I was mainly messaging people who were in School of Divinity because I'm a School of Divinity major, and I really wanted somebody in that same major so that we could, you know, bounce ideas off each other, grow together, take classes together, like just help form that friendship a little more, and also help yourself out. Like, you're walking through similar things that like an education major is not gonna understand.
Yeah.
So it really helps to have somebody be like, hey, you know, are you having these questions too? Are you dealing with this as well? Like, it really helps. And it's not essential, but it really, I think, builds a better and stronger friendship for sure.
Yeah, and also with that, if you're under like, cause like under like the same, like, cause you're at your university or college and it has like the schools under, so like where's School of Divinity, there's like School of Nursing, School of Education, all that. So if you have someone that's under that same school, they're taking a lot of similar classes, so it helps just understanding like when you're struggling with something, like they get it too.
And if you're like nursing or like STEM or anything, definitely try and find some good friends in that major because you'll need them for sure.
Another important thing, I actually saw this on a TikTok like a week before moving in, that it's super important to have a boundaries conversation day one. So like I moved in, Michaela moved in the day before me because moving is usually like 2 days or like a long day. Yeah, so don't avoid moving in at the same time because it's just chaos because like your families are with you, just have all your stuff all out at once. So she moved in the day before and then I came in. Her side of the room was basically like set up and stuff because like if we wanted to move anything around we totally could. It was just easier that way. And like her family was here, so they said hi, we all met each other, and then they left so I could set up my part of the room. And then I got back and we went to a little like event thing that they had, and when we got back from that it was just us. Our families had already gone and we're like, okay, so what are we gonna do? Like, what temperature are we gonna keep the room changing because it's one shared space? Do you prefer doing this or this in the room? Things like that. So also along with that boundaries talk like just with the first week, really just learn the rhythm, not like memorize the other person's daily routine, but learn like the rhythm of it. Like for the most part, both of us, it's like we are like decent like talkers when we first wake up, but some people like aren't like that. So that's another thing that you should communicate with them beforehand. But just like learning things like, do they get ready like at their desk in front of the sink? Do they go all the way to the bathroom to do it? So things like that is really good to just like get the rhythm of and see how that flows. Also, it's super important to talk about what things you're comfortable sharing and what you're not. Like we have a fridge, like even things as simple as what food we're sharing that's in there, because like you're spending money on stuff. You want to make sure that what's being shared is shared and what's not is not. So it's like I bought sugar for my coffee, but I'm like, I'm not gonna use a whole box of sugar. Have at it. And like mugs, I don't care if you use them, just wash them. But then like what did we do? We went out, we bought dish soap together, got sponges, and like we're sharing command hooks and stuff. Popcorn got shared. So it's like just communicate what you're comfortable sharing and what you're not, because it's okay to not want to share everything. It's still, you're still entitled to your own space even in this small shared space, if that makes sense. And it's super duper important to talk about responsibilities for like cleanliness in the room, because that's another thing we didn't mention earlier. When you're with someone, talk to them about your cleanliness levels, because like we're both like a little bit of a messy organized, but with the smaller space we're definitely a little better about it. So talk about like, do you have one big trash that you're alternating out? We personally have two small trashes.
I think that works really well. Because I've seen other people that have one big trash can and then it causes drama because at Liberty you get fined if you don't take out your trash. So it can cause drama if you have to decide who's doing it.
Also, it's just way more of a hassle because you have to like carry it all the way downstairs and stuff, so you just have a small bag to carry. Really easy. Also, we're not constantly having things to throw away, so it's not that bad. and like is like dishes like to each your own, like desk appearance with the organization. Like I don't really care what her desk looks like because it's not my space.
My desk is kind of a mess, y'all. Like I'm looking at it right now. It's great.
It's okay though, but it's like your version of organized-ish.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't affect me, so I really don't care that much.
We're ministry majors, guys. If you're a ministry major, you're gonna have a crap ton of books. So get ready for that. That's half the desk.
Books and reading and just a whole lot of it. So just be aware of that. And yeah, so make sure you have a boundaries talk day one and make it very clear. Like we're super good about it. Even now, but primarily the first week, asking if what you're doing is okay, if it affects the other person.
Yeah, I think for sure. And like, I don't typically get up early, but like the first couple weeks, I'd be like, hey, did brushing my teeth this morning wake you up? And then that was a good indicator of, okay, when I get up early on Tuesdays, like I need to go in the bathroom and brush my teeth. Or like, no, she sleeps right through it. I can brush my teeth here. Yeah. Like just things like that, just feeling it out until you really know each other and know what makes each other tick.
Yeah, even we talk about like alarm sounds, alarm volumes.
Yeah.
Because like naturally an alarm's gonna go off, you're probably gonna wake up. So it's super good to talk about like, because I'm also not gonna have like a super obnoxious alarm sound. Because if it's something, luckily we're both the type to fall back asleep, but even still, you don't like being woken up to a sound that you find obnoxious.
Yeah.
So I've like changed mine a couple times and always make sure, hey, is this okay? And then like we'll like gauge the volume of it. So the goal is to not wake up your roommate with your alarm, but it's probably gonna end up happening. So just being aware of how it'll affect them.
Yeah. And I think like for me, I have mine on vibrate and I put it like right next to my head. So I wake up pretty soon to turn it off. But we have like similar class schedules, so it doesn't typically wake you up, I would say, if you're not like already awake.
Yeah.
But if you don't have similar class schedules, like be mindful of the amount of alarms you're setting. Like only set 1 or 2, set it on vibrate. Try and be as courteous as possible.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure their day starts off right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is decor. So I know especially for girls, it's like a really big deal to decorate your dorm room, make it really cute. And we talked quite a bit about our decor. And we kind of came to the conclusion, I feel like, that we were each going to do what we wanted, but it was going to like tie together. Yeah. So like her entire side, it has like pink accents, and my side, it has like light green accents. But like she still has the vines that tie in with the green. But overall, like it's not that big of a deal if your decors don't match. I mean, maybe for some people it is, but for us,
it's really not that big a deal.
Not a big deal.
It's better to focus on coordinating over matching. But if you're like lucky enough that you live near your roommate and you can go shopping together, that's a completely different factor. But we're like 18 hours apart. That's not an option.
Yeah.
Also, if like there's a chance you won't end up living with them again, and if you have all your stuff matching with everyone, then you're just gonna constantly be spending money and buying stuff. And we really on a budget over here. Like we can't afford that. So mine, we both have like a kind of like beige, creamish base, and then some small accent things, just so that our room like also helps the room look clean without it being super like focused on what it is.
Yeah. I would say like don't get like a comforter that is like super patterned, because I think that would make the room feel more like cluttered and messy. Both of us have just a beige comforter, and I think it helps the room to look bigger and more put together. So
that's all we have for today. So this video is roommate life, and then next video is just room organization. Then after that is just personal tips of like smaller things. And then we're doing Liberty and South Tower in specific. So be on the lookout for those. Reasons to have your post notifications turned on, y'all. And I think that's all we have, right?
Yeah.
Have anything else to add?
No.
No, so remember, we're more than conquerors through him who loves us. Have a blessed week, y'all.